Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are breaking down a rapidly evolving situation that has captured global attention, where Iran is moving decisively, Israel is under pressure, and many analysts are asking whether a new war has already begun. This is not just another headline. This is a moment where history, power, and regional balance are colliding in real time. Tensions in the Middle East have never truly disappeared, but what we are seeing now feels different. The language from leaders is sharper, military movements are more visible, and the margin for error is shrinking fast. When Iran signals action, the world listens, and when Israel feels threatened, it responds with force and speed. Iran's recent actions are not random. They are calculated signals aimed at enemies, allies, and observers. Every move is designed to send a message that Iran is not isolated, not weak, and not afraid to escalate if pushed. This messaging is aimed as much at domestic audiences as it is at international rivals. Israel, on the other hand, finds itself facing pressure on multiple fronts. From the north to the south, from cyberspace to air defenses, the sense of being surrounded is growing. Israel's security doctrine has always relied on deterrence and preemptive strength. But deterrence only works when the other side believes the cost will be unbearable. What makes this moment especially dangerous is the involvement of proxies and indirect forces. This is not a simple Iran versus Israel equation. Groups aligned with Iran across the region are active, vocal, and increasingly bold. Each incident risks triggering a chain reaction that no one can fully control. The term new war does not always mean tanks crossing borders on day one. Modern warfare often begins in the shadows. Cyber attacks, intelligence operations, drone strikes, and economic pressure can all mark the opening phase of a conflict long before an official declaration is made. Iran has invested heavily in asymmetric warfare. This means fighting smarter, not necessarily louder. Missiles, drones, and regional alliances give Iran the ability to apply pressure without direct confrontation, forcing Israel to stay on constant alert. Israel's response strategy has historically been aggressive and immediate. When threatened, Israel strikes first and strikes hard. But when threats come from multiple directions at once, the challenge becomes far more complex. Defending against rockets, drones, cyber attacks, and misinformation simultaneously stretches even the most advanced military systems. The global reaction to this situation is cautious but deeply concerned. Major powers are watching closely, calculating risks and weighing their interests. No one wants a full-scale regional war, but everyone is preparing for the possibility that diplomacy may fail. Breaking news often focuses on explosions and statements, but the real story lies beneath the surface. Supply chains, energy markets, and financial systems all react to instability in this region. Even a limited conflict can send shockwaves across the global economy. Public opinion inside Israel is also under strain. Citizens expect security, and when that sense of safety feels uncertain, pressure mounts on leadership. Decisions made under public fear can be faster, harsher, and harder to reverse. In Iran, the narrative is different but equally intense. Standing up to Israel is framed as resistance and strength. This framing helps unify internal support and justify high-risk strategies. For Iran's leadership, backing down can look like weakness, and weakness is seen as dangerous. One of the most critical aspects of this moment is miscalculation. History shows that wars often start not because leaders want them, but because they believe the other side will blink first. When both sides think escalation will stop short, that is when things spiral out of control. Technology also changes the pace of conflict. Decisions that once took days now take minutes. Automated defenses, real-time intelligence, and instant communication reduce reaction time and increase the chance of mistakes. Media coverage plays a powerful role here. Dramatic headlines can inflame emotions and harden positions. At the same time, silence or underreporting can allow dangerous actions to go unnoticed until it is too late. Israel's military advantage remains significant, but advantage does not equal invulnerability. Iran understands this and designs its strategy around exploiting pressure points rather than confronting strength head-on. Regional neighbors are watching closely and preparing quietly. Some fear being drawn in, others see opportunity, and a few are trying desperately to stay neutral. In a region this interconnected, neutrality is increasingly hard to maintain. Diplomatic backchannels are active, even when public rhetoric is hostile. Messages are being sent through intermediaries, warnings are being delivered quietly, and red lines are being communicated without microphones. The question many people are asking is whether this situation can still be de-escalated. The answer depends on restraint, communication, and a willingness to accept partial outcomes rather than total victory. History teaches us that conflicts between powerful rivals rarely end quickly. They evolve, adapt, and often become more complex over time. What begins as limited strikes can turn into prolonged confrontation. For civilians caught in the middle, the cost is always the highest. Fear, displacement, and uncertainty become daily realities. This human dimension is often lost in strategic analysis, but remains the most important consequence of any war. Breaking news moments like this demand careful thinking, not just emotional reaction. Understanding motivations, capabilities, and limits on both sides helps explain why events unfold the way they do. Iran in action does not mean chaos. It means strategy, patience, and long-term planning. Israel in trouble does not mean defeat. It means challenge, pressure, and the test of resilience. Whether this becomes a full-scale war or remains a dangerous standoff will depend on choices made in the coming days and weeks. Every strike, every statement, and every silence matters. The world has seen moments like this before, where tension hangs in the air and everyone senses that something major could happen at any time. These are the moments when leadership matters most. As the situation develops, it is crucial to separate verified facts from speculation. Rumors can spread faster than missiles, and misinformation can escalate fear and hostility. This story is still unfolding. The lines are not fully drawn, and the outcome is not predetermined. What is clear is that the stakes are extremely high, not just for Iran and Israel, but for the entire region and beyond. Stay focused, stay informed, and understand that behind every headline is a complex web of decisions, fears, and ambitions. This is not just news. This is history in motion, and the next chapter is being written right now.